Hello there and welcome back to Music That Doesn't Suck, the place where we are actually not winging it on the spot. It's also where we talk about music that is actually not awful, for that matter. So, first and foremost, how's it going? Everyone, me, it's Tony Rep, and I gotta say, I'm beautiful.
Very well, yes. Hello, girls and boys. How's it going? Very glad to have you here, and very glad to be here as well.
Yes, super educated.
Of course.
Yeah. Great.
Manners. God damn it.
Yeah, showcasing. Okay, so what's gonna be the point of today's conversation? Because we totally forgot to get the boost today.
So, even inspired by the latest musical departure.
By the way, have you seen that Hulk Hogan also passed away today?
Did he?
Yes.
Damn. No, I hadn't seen it actually.
Yeah.
So another soul that may rest in peace.
Yes.
Alongside Ozzy. So we decided to talk about musicians that left us too early.
Yes, let me get the music going.
Yeah. And left us kind of wondering what would have happened to their music if they were still around today, basically. Because, Ozzy showed us, musically speaking, probably all that he had, because he lived...
he left a very big and remarkable career.
Yeah, and he lived a very long life, longer than most people would actually have expected.
All right.
But in other cases, we actually had artists that departed soon, very soon, leaving like their careers unfinished.
And this begs the question: would it have been a good idea for them to be around for longer?
That should be discussed.
Which one is the first one that comes to mind?
So actually, the first that comes to mind is an artist that I like quite a lot, and that has only one album, and it's one of the reasons why I think it's a good addition to this conversation, which is Jeff Buckley.
A great musician from the 90s, one of the very few examples of incredibly good musicians from that decade.
Yeah.
Very talented singer, incredibly talented singer, yes. One of the best singers ever.
Crazy music.
Crazy ass music, very eerie, kinda scary to a certain degree, right?
Aggressive and kind of twisted.
Twisted, because even the ones that are a little bit more, how can I put it? More family friendly, they still feel a little bit too much, too extreme in the sense of dread and kind of the emotional load, don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a little bit, yes.
Yeah, it's very emotionally charged. His music is super charged to the point of being uncomfortable at times.
It is kind of comfortable, that's the way that I would describe it as well.
Yeah, and of course, even being uncomfortable is the mark of incredible musicianship, because I think so, but kinds and kinds of uncomfortable. It's not uncomfortable because it sucks. It's uncomfortable because the emotion is uncomfortable and it's being way too well portrayed.
Yeah, it actually has an emotional effect on you.
Yeah.
So yes. So why would you pick that guy?
Because he has a very short-lived career on a single album. As I mentioned, the name of the album is Grace. It's a fantastic album.
It is indeed. Probably you have heard his rendition of Hallelujah by the U singer Leonard Cohen.
Leonard Cohen, yes. His rendition of Hallelujah is by far the most known and most popular.
I don't know if it's the most known, but at least it's the one that I know is his most popular track.
No, but it's the most popular and most known of his work.
Okay.
Even though it's a cover, which is a shame because his actual work, is
way better than Hallelujah.
Yes, it's great music.
Yes, it is indeed. Favorite track?
The album is very good. I particularly like a lot the opener for the album. It's called Mojo Pin. It's a fantastic track. I think it's a good mood setter for the album. It's already very crazy, and music, because his singing is very crazy, but the instrumentation as well. I don't know how much input he had on the writing of the music.
Most of it was on by him.
I think so, right?
Yeah.
It feels like that because the synergy in between the style of his vocals and the music itself is
very clear.
It is.
Yeah, and in my case, I would go for Grace, the title track. Yes, because it's not catchy.
No.
It's kind of scary.
Weird.
Yeah. But it was picked as a single.
Somehow.
Because it was the least crazy man.
Yeah.
Well, no, that and Forget Her. Forget Her is also a great ballad.
Beautiful ballad, yes.
I happen to be a sucker for sad sounding music, and that's very sad.
Look, another reason why I feel that he's a perfect fit for this conversation is that not only short-lived career, but it's a very short-lived career where he showed a lot of talent.
Yeah.
But he was young, so naturally he wasn't extremely experienced yet, even though he made great music.
Like Jimi Hendrix?
Like Jimi Hendrix, which is definitely a different point of this conversation, but...
Yes. Yeah, so what do you think would have happened if he didn't pass away?
I don't know, I like to imagine what his music would have become, mixing the talent that he already showed even from his debut album, but more experienced, a little bit more mature. So he has already quite a lot of prog elements to his music. So I have in my mind that he would probably go down the route of going even proggier and crazier.
I think, in my case, I don't think he would have continued. I think
so?
the music is quite clearly written by somebody who is quite disturbed and also kind of disappointed with life. I don't think he would have continued doing it, because it's not that I'm saying that he didn't have the chops to pull it off and continue producing beautiful music, but I think he was simply. It gives the impression to me that his music was kind of a reflection of who he was and what he felt. It's very too personal. It's extremely basically him, and it gives the impression that he was very depressed. And for those of you who don't know, he decided to unalive himself, allegedly. We don't know exactly what happened because he was found on a river. But
the official narrative is that it was done himself.
Yeah, but we don't know exactly what happened. But it gives the impression, at least musically speaking, that he would have continued. Even if he didn't decide to do what he did, I think no, he would have quit.
The possibility.
One of those guys that one and done.
It's possible. And the thing, you can see that he threw everything he had at that album.
Even more, man.
Yeah.
Even more, because the music is very, it's profound. It actually has meaning. The style of the music is extremely unique and personal. Clearly not trying to appeal to what was considered to be radio friendly, especially back in the days, because that's when the radio was still king and MTV was the highest.
Yeah.
Highest.
Did he actually had like any screen time on MTV?
Yes, he did. Grace has a music video. Forget Her also has a music video. And he did the rounds in some live shows during the promotional tour for the album. There is even a live recording of him performing. I think it's in Paris or on TV. He's playing Grace. So you're gonna mind the audience like, damn,
everybody.
Yes, exactly. This is Sacre Bleu. Yeah, it's very intense music. I don't see him continue, being frank.
And the thing is, even though he was very young when he made that album, the album feels mature. It doesn't feel like an album coming out of a young guy.
But in my opinion, maturity doesn't come with age, man. Because I have met plenty of grandpas that are super immature, man. Being very honest, and I have met rarely. But I had met younger guys and gals that you could have thought, just by talking to them, that you were dealing with an adult, but really you were dealing with a teenager or something, because of the maturity that they got. I don't think it has anything to do with age, man. And in his case, he knew what he wanted to do. He knew exactly what to say. He had the chance to do it. He did it, and probably, in my opinion, the reason why his life was that short is because once he probably saw music or the success in the musical journey as probably the solution to his personal struggle. And once it happened and he didn't fix it, no way out. That's what I think.
So that's that.
That's that. I am not going to continue because it's kind of depressing, but it's in a certain way I get it. I get it. Don't condone it, but I get it.
Yeah, and even like the fact that he already showed us that amount of musical maturity even on his debut. Maybe that was it. That was what he had to share.
Yes. Yeah, because
it wasn't a matter of maybe escalating from that. No, that was it.
Yeah, because what else could he do? Not that I'm saying that he wasn't able to write great music again, but it feels complete. It feels like the body of work of a great artist, if that makes sense. I don't know if it's sensible to you.
It does. It feels like a shame as a fan, a little bit of a shame as a fan, because we would love to see what else could have been done. But I get you, and it does feel like that. It does feel like he.
In my case, is complete. I wouldn't like to hear more music from him.
Yeah.
Because he's so good. I think it's one and done. Again, it's sad that he passed away, but what he did was excellent, man.
Yeah.
And again, I'm trying to be a contrarian. It's simply my own opinion, personal opinion. Okay. But I have a completely different proposition. Jimi Hendrix. I think I would have loved to see him continue.
Yeah, why?
Because it's his music sounds like somebody who wanted to make more.
Keep rocking.
Yes, it's a completely different business. And don't tell me that it's clearly not.
Indeed.
Because with Jimi Hendrix, first and foremost the pursuit of pushing the boundaries of music through the use of technology. His music is very, very much driven by the use of effects, the way that he learned to use his guitar. He was basically creating will later become the method to play electric guitar to a certain degree.
Yeah.
Because he created many of the things that every single guitar player now has to do in order to sound like a guitar player.
Yeah.
Electric guitar player, mind. Also the use of effects. One of the very first guys to use effects pedals. Univibe, of course, wah and fuzz, the signature sounds, and even the what's it, Octafuzz. He used it in a few tracks, only very few, because when one of his pals was the one who actually created the Octafuzz circuit.
Okay.
He was testing the stuff and let's try it, and I think he used it in Foxy Lady. No, it's in, I think it's a chunks on Purple Haze. You can hear the Octafuzz, if I remember correctly. Don't have my Jimi Hendrix lore is up to date right now.
Yeah.
But I know that I'm close to the solution. So what do you think?
I think Jimi Hendrix, will be very interesting, especially one of the aspects of what you said, the whole thing about exploring technology. Imagining what he could have done with his talent that he showed from day one, basically.
Yeah.
But with the technology that came not that later on.
No,
like a decade later.
No, not even decade. 5 years later, man. Synthesizers.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
He would have gone crazy with them.
Yeah, before going live, I was working with the Moog, and imagine him
Yeah.
having access to those synths, because back then the synthesizer thing was already going on, but it wasn't popularized yet for stage use or even for musicians in rock music. It was much more of an experimental thing. The Beatles were some of the first to actually start to incorporate the sound, and they were very close in the time period is basically 7. So it's just like 2-3 years later. So imagine what would have happened then. Incredible, right?
Yeah.
It's the kind of stuff that it truly keeps you awake at night.
And I think that the whole thing with Jimi Hendrix, like he was a lot of raw talent, but he did seem willing to explore music in depth.
Yes.
I don't think he had time enough with us to explore the depths that he was willing to.
Yeah, agreed.
And it would be very interesting to see what kind of music he would be making, let's say, if he was alive today, after a few decades of effing around with some of the technology that popped up in 70s and 80s, for instance.
Yeah, because I see him as somebody who would have turned into a Pro Tool Frank Zappa. Not as crazy, because Jimi Hendrix has had a very, very clean, for lack of a better term, sense of music. He knew what sounded like music. It was natural for him.
Yes, but something kind of raw.
That's why I get you when you say raw as well, because it sounds kind of unruly, but not sophisticated. But that's a good thing, okay? Far from this, because that being able to express those ideas in such an uncontrolled manner, like truly out of the heart.
Yeah, it feels even more honest than something that is a little bit more polished, let's say.
From the heart. It feels like it's truly meaningful, because it's like somebody who doesn't need that many words to express a very deep and profound idea. And he was like that. So I imagine him being like that, but bigger, with much more. Just imagine being able to record multi-track.
Yeah, that alone.
Yeah. Multi-track, for those of you who are not familiar with the term, is how music is produced right today, and ever since certain albums from the Beatles. Which means that back in the day, most of the music was recorded with the whole band playing, and that's one of the reasons why those records have that particular sound. And on other occasions, they had a very limited amount of track that could be not overlapped but summed together. To create the final version of the track. That allowed that with the advent of technology and development through time, more tracks were added for it to be summed up in the end. That's why you got songs such as Bohemian Rhapsody being able to be produced to that degree of expertise, because just think of the amount of vocal tracks during the horrible section, or think in terms of Pink Floyd, The Dark Side of the Moon. How can you pull that off?
Impossible.
No, it's impossible. So imagine Jimi Hendrix having access to that.
Yeah, the Dark Side of the Moon wouldn't be a possibility in the early 60s.
No, it's impossible.
Yeah.
But imagine him having access to a multi-track recording setup. Wow. because he would have been, mind the amount of overlappings that he would have been able to do. Or
Yeah.
just, I don't know, because he had access to some of it, but I don't know exactly how many tracks he could record. Because he passed away quite early, man.
Yeah.
What, when? 68, 69?
Not even the 70s.
Yeah, something like that, man. So no, it was already he had access to some of the multi-track recording capabilities, but not in the sense of not to the same degree as Pink Floyd back when they produced Dark Side of the Moon, man,
Yeah.
or Queen later on with.
Yeah, because the jump was kind of quick at
Yes.
at that period in time.
Yeah, the development of technology, I think, when it came to music production was probably probably faster, but less gigantic than it was in the 80s. The thing is that the 80s it was leaps ahead.
Yeah.
And during the 70s, you got super quick but consistent steps forward.
Yeah.
Different approach. And you can even hear it, man, because the quality of the productions and the scope of the songs and the music being produced gets bigger.
Yeah.
Then we go to the 90s.
And something happened.
Something happened. Just saying.
But look, you already actually mentioned within the context of Jimi Hendrix a couple of artists that are definitely pertaining to this conversation. One of them, you mentioned Queen,
Yes.
is Freddie Mercury.
Yes.
I don't know exactly how old he was when he passed,
I think he was close to 40.
but I think he still had music in him. I don't think he was out of the game.
No.
Yet.
No.
But what do you think his music would have been if he kept going?
I think he would have sucked.
You think so?
Yes.
Why?
Because I think he's just listen to the music by Queen, how it changed so much, particularly in the later stages of their career, because you have like a very consistent sound with pushes towards the more not fanfare, like flamboyant and a little bit peacocky elements like that part of Rhapsody. But in general, you had the sound of the band, right? But then later albums, you start to see like, the hell is this? Because Radio Gaga, for as much as I love it, it's very, very, very anti-Queen.
Yeah, it's very outside of what they
sounds
usually,
very
yeah.
different, man. And I like it because it sounds like a Peter Gabriel-like track, but with the Queen flair. You know, it sounds like David Bowie in that period,
It kind of does.
right?
But I think they were mutually inspired.
Yeah,
one another at that
I'm
time.
not saying that they rip each other off, because they even had that collaboration, that Under Pressure, right?
Yeah.
But it sounds closer to David Bowie than it does to Queen, man. So I think they would have continued doing that, following that route. And in my humble opinion, that's not the best Queen has to offer. That sound, get me?
I agree.
Because I prefer a little bit of that, but more of the usual stuff, man.
Yeah.
Your what's the name? Show must go on, and I want it all, and all. Damn that. All of those heavier, better sounding tracks, man.
Yeah, I get you.
Damn.
When it comes, look, Queen. I find Queen to be an interesting phenomenon because I actually like Queen very much, as you know, and some of you know as well. But Queen is far from a consistent band. They are not a band that they always deliver greatness. They have quite a lot of examples of them sucking throughout their careers, and I don't necessarily hold that against them. They have a very prolific career,
Yeah,
and their highlights, their great stuff, ensures their place in the rock and roll pantheon.
Totally earned.
So, even though it's not a very consistent band, I hold them in a lot of respect. But I feel that we would be getting more of the shittier side of Queen rather than the great side of Queen.
Yes.
I get that impression. We can of course know that for sure, but I feel that what they did best was even before the later stages. So I think that was already kind of going downhill, and maybe would keep going downhill if he kept going, if he was alive to keep carrying the music.
When do you think they stopped being awesome? Not being awesome. When do you think the downward slope began? After the Night of the Opera?
No, I don't think just immediately after.
No.
I think-
It's the beginning, because I have never seen them as a sucky band in their later stages. I could simply say that I can hear the thing going downwards already.
Yeah,
Something was not working as
was already kind of.
not frictiony, because I don't think they were having issues as band members, but I think that the creative juice was starting to either being tainted by, I wouldn't say greed, but probably fame, because they went for a much more commercial, for a lack of a term, route, less aggressive sound, if that makes very
Yeah.
sense. That's why I pick Radiohead as example, because that's clearly a David Bowie pop era inspired track, man.
But look, the way I feel about it, even though I agree from a musical perspective, I disagree with the cause. I don't think that Queen is a band that ever sold out. I don't think they were
No.
trying to go pop.
No.
for instance.
What I'm saying is that just I think they would have stuck to that.
Yeah, and I think it's more due to the moment of their lives.
Yes.
They became hugely successful.
That's why I said
hugely-
fame rather than great, because great probably today, but back in the day wasn't the case.
Yeah, I don't think they ever sold out, but I do think that the impact of their fame reached their music making and
Yeah.
ended up kind of going on a downward slope.
Yes.
At least my take, this is my opinion. Even
Not a
though-
steep one, mind you.
No. They kept doing good music, but they
Yes.
didn't have the greatness that made them great to begin with.
Agreed.
So, well,
Agreed.
that's up for debate. And if you have a different opinion, please let us know in the comments.
Because this is just a friendly conversation, of course, allegedly.
Yeah. it is.
Now, have you seen them live? No.
I have never seen anything of
With the
of modern
person who
Queen.
replaced Freddie.
The fact that they had the gall to actually replace Freddie is something that I, at my own head canon, I don't allow for it. It never happened
Never
to me.
happened.
Yeah, I don't accept it.
Yeah. Speaking of which, what do you think about how they replaced Chester from Linkin Park?
Who also died fairly early.
Fairly early and under very
Sketchy
circumstances.
Yeah.
Questionable. Yeah.
I also never, I as you know as well, I do enjoy. I won't say that I enjoy Linkin Park, mostly due to nostalgia reasons.
I don't, but I don't have a gripe with them.
That's on personal.
Yes.
But I think they did all right.
Yeah.
I think Chester, he's not a good singer. He had,
No, but he's very important to their sound. Man.
Yeah, no, and he had. I was about to get to it. He had a very defined and important personality to his
I
singing.
agree.
Not necessarily technical and by any means.
No.
Actually, he destroyed his voice
Yes.
very early on in his career, and it's a clear showcase of not singing correctly. It's not a criticism to his
Music.
It's a criticism to him as a singer from a technical perspective.
Yes.
And the singing was very integral to Linkin Park. Once again, the fact that he was replaced is also wrong. It shouldn't have happened.
I'm being replaced by a woman.
It would even
It's
worse.
Why would you do that, man? Because if you're gonna replace him, at least make sure that you can play the songs the same way as the fans are expecting them to sound.
Exactly, because nothing wrong with women singing.
No,
The
but-
Singer is a band that was male led,
Fronted.
actually is a better word, and the singing was very integral.
It's
to
like
the music.
replacing Madonna with freaking David Coverdale. The hell.
Very interesting.
Uh,
Very wrong and
it's awful. But no, man, it's not. You don't do that. Why? Because it's not Madonna anymore, man.
Yeah.
And it's ridiculous. I find it to be a cash grab,
Mm-hmm.
a publicity stunt, and disrespecting. I'm not a fan of the band, but I feel
Yeah.
fans of the band because that's disrespectful to you and the legacy of this guy, man.
Yeah, and I for one don't give it the time of day. I never
Nah.
seen anything with the replacement. For me, it doesn't exist. It's not there.
And
I
what-
pretend it isn't.
And speaking of which, what do you think about what would have happened to them? Would they got better?
Linkin Park, if Chester hadn't died,
Yes.
I don't think so because even no, but look, with all the respect that I have for the band,
Yes.
I think they had already peaked, and I think they were actually.
They reached their maximum, right? Potential.
Yeah, I don't think that they would have kept delivering music
Yeah.
on the level of what got them in the eye of the people, which is already kind of a point of content to begin with. But I think they got there for a reason, and I think that reason ceased to exist within time.
You mean like growing up?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably that. Yeah, because their music is very early 2000s. It takes you back to that particular period of time, but no more, man. In my opinion, again, this is not dissing on them. They earned the success they got,
Yeah.
and respect to them.
Yeah.
Their music simply doesn't resonate with me, and I don't think. And I agree with you, and I think they already had. They had shown what they were made of and what they could do with music.
Yeah. And
No.
even Linkin Park wasn't even much of a thing, even when he did pass away.
Oh, they were very popular, man.
No, they were popular, but inactivity. I mean, like they weren't doing anything.
Oh yeah, they were
relevant.
kind of yeah, not that active.
Yeah, the band still had recognition, of course, but
The thing is that I saw some footage of him performing with Chris Cornell because they were pals.
Yeah.
They were friends. And due to particular involvement of both of them with a particular style of charity. That speaking of Chris Cornell, yeah, Chris Cornell also passed away almost 8 years ago,
something like that.
something like that, and he also passed away in very, 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 very questionable circumstances. And the timing was also kind of similar to Chester, and also due to the relationship with that particular children-focused charity, that I don't even know if it's a good idea to say it online, but if you know, you know. Even Avicii could be part of that crowd because he was also friends with them, and he was also kind of involved in the same.
He also died early.
During that similar period of time. It's very sketchy, just saying.
Wow.
But whatever.
Let's leave that to
Trying to
everyone.
avoid the Dr. Fox gags. Sorry, I have to warm up for me to do the Alex Jones thing. And I don't want to make my voice. So, yeah.
Well, look, Chris Cornell, let's stick to the music then.
Yes, Soundgarden first. They were active. They had released a new album 2 or 3 years before this situation. And also Chris, by his own, released a solo album a year prior. And even on that album, I think there is a song with his daughter singing alongside. That's cool.
That's awesome.
And the album is very hopeful sounding. It's not sad. It's actually, he finally seems to be enjoying life, man.
It even makes the whole thing about
Even
his
worse.
passing even worse. Yeah.
Even worse, man. Because he struggled with many things throughout his life, and but maturity allowed him to finally come to terms with all of the problems that he faced, finally vanquishing his demons, and he seems to be in a very nice place. And then this happens, and allegedly he off himself off.
Don't buy it. Personally, I don't buy it.
Nobody buys it, man.
Yeah.
Not even his widow and stuff. But I'm not gonna get. Avoiding the controversy.
But look, music.
Music. Soundgarden was ready to come back. Probably they would have had released at least 2 more albums if he would have continued with them by today. Similar to what's going on with Alice in Chains. They released a few albums now with this guy,
singer.
Duval. I always forget his name. The last name is Duval. He sings.
Incredible singer. Incredible
He nails the lane stand, which we will be talking about as well later.
Yeah.
But I think something similar to what happened to what is going on with Alice in Chains would have happened to Soundgarden. Not that active, but active enough. Because in the case of Alice in Chains, you got the guitar player. How could I forget his name? Well, this guy, I will remember.
What's his face?
The guitar player for Alice in Chains. He's been releasing a little bit of solo albums and stuff like that in this downtime. But they're still active, man. The latest album by Alice in Chains, I think, got released in 2016. So I know it's almost 10 years old. Yeah, but man, we're talking about a legacy band that has been around for almost 40 years at this point, or even more. So of course they reached a point in their careers on which slowed down, and also after what happened to Alice in Chains as well on the early 2000s, late 90s, you could see why. But coming back to Soundgarden, I think they would have continued. Chris Cornell would have continued his solo career as well. But I totally rule out what's the name of these guys? Obviously, I don't think that would have happened again because it was a one of a kind, and once it's done, it's done. Because they went full on. Let's sell records. And selling records they did.
They did, and with good music.
With good music, not. I respect it. I like it. It's full on. I use those albums as a way to always remind myself how to write commercially successful music. Without losing legit factor. Because they did it correctly, man. From the singing, the song structures, the vibe, the group, the punchiness, everything. And it's a self-contained band.
Mm-hmm.
One of those rare examples of a supergroup that doesn't sound like the previous efforts.
Mm-hmm. True.
It doesn't sound like, for example, Liquid Tension Experiment. I mean, it sounds like Dream Theater.
Yeah.
It basically was the blueprint for modern Dream Theater.
Yeah.
And it ended up becoming the lineup for Dream Theater,
Yeah.
officially speaking. But in this case, they don't sound neither like Rage Against the Machine or Soundgarden.
No, it doesn't.
Probably the only supergroup that I think managed to do it that way.
Yeah, I never thought about it that way, but it's true.
Yeah,
It's true.
right.
Yeah.
But I think they wouldn't keep on rocking without that.
No, without your slave, I don't think so.
No.
I feel that I feel a little bit differently about what would have happened to his music, especially when it comes to Soundgarden, because I think I would be very much inclined to hear what he would be making in his solo career, because of this new moment that he was living through. I think would be nice having seen what he could explore musically from the emotions that he would kind of be living through at that point in
Yeah,
time.
good point, because I can't imagine happy Soundgarden.
But that's exactly the point. I don't think Soundgarden would be able to be a thing anymore, because clearly the emotions that motivate Soundgarden are not positive ones.
No.
So even because of his own personal moment, I don't think Soundgarden would either have ended, or probably wouldn't make music as great as their earlier stages.
Or maybe they would have spaced out the release of new music dramatically
Yeah.
for them to cook slowly but surely.
Yeah, but I definitely would be very inclined to hear what he could make in his solo career.
Because Soundgarden's last album is very good, man.
Mhm.
It still retains everything, and it was released like I think 14.
Mhm.
So a huge chunk of time after the release of the previous one.
Yeah, yeah.
So man,
Yeah, probably those songs were written at different points of their lives, being very honest. Probably
possibly,
yeah.
possibly. But if they managed to release a super run with 17 songs, man. So I mind that something similar happened with the later efforts. Man, they have plenty of B sides or tracks that simply didn't fit that record, and they would have produced them on a later stage.
Yeah.
And then later announcing the glorious goodbye,
Yeah.
as every single one of us should and has to. So yeah, now moving over to Alice in Chains. What do you think would have happened? Lane Stanley, the blood and soul of Alice in Chains.
Was he?
Exactly, because when they released it, first of you know, he passed away during the late 90s out of abuses with his body, and the band basically went cold, quiet for a good chunk of time, almost like 10 years. And then they came back with a glorious record called Back Gives Way to Blue, with a new singer, Duval. Again, please remind me the name of this fantastic singer. Everybody was super skeptical,
Yeah.
because when that album got released, I was already a huge Alice in Chains fan, and I was also very skeptical. Like, how dare you!
Yeah.
And then listen to the first single. Damn! It sounds very similar.
Yeah.
Extremely similar, to the point of it being kind of uncanny, but it's not the same.
But even outside of the singing, the band still sounds like
Yes.
Alice in Chains.
Yes, nothing changed.
It doesn't feel like it's a different take. No, it's Alice in Chains.
It's Alice in Chains.
Yeah.
And it's like what happened to Journey. His Journey is still
Yeah.
very rare examples, because
Yeah.
usually when you swap somebody, especially a singer, it could go very good or very bad.
Yeah.
Iron Maiden went awful, but Black Sabbath, yes.
Not the time. It's just soon.
No, I'm
It's
just saying.
soon.
Yeah, I'm just saying. That's it. Yeah, just, all the respect to Lucy, of course.
Yeah.
And yes.
But I agree.
Yeah. So, do you think that something would have been different? Would they be able to release the albums that they released? Because Black Gives Way to Blue is one of my favorite records ever.
It's very good.
It's extremely good.
Yeah.
It's super solid. No stinkers. The entire album, from start to finish, is fantastic. Great. It encapsulates the entirety of the essence of Alice in Chains, while still keeping the whole thing very, very, very fresh sounding, right? Because the music is not, it's kind of like an exploration of everything the band is capable of. Unlike other albums on which it's a little bit more heavier or a little bit more mellower. Because think of Man in Box. Was it not? Is that the name of the? No, that's not the name of the album. It's the one with the dog.
Is the it's not Dirt. Is the
Dirt is the other one. Yes. I will remember. And compare that to Jar of Flies. Jar of Flies is super mellow. Why? Because it's kind of classical acoustic, it's a pseudo EP, whatever.
Yeah.
But they were trying to get a completely different sound. In Black Keeps Way Too Blue, you get both
Yeah. True.
throughout the entirety of the album, and it even has a special appearance from Elton John. He's playing the piano on Black Keeps Way Too Blue.
Yeah.
And actually, have you heard the piano version?
Yeah.
Which one do you prefer? Because the original one is acoustic singing and a little bit of the piano in the background, and the piano version is no acoustic guitars, just singing and guitar, electric guitar doing the
I prefer the original. I feel that is a little bit more true to form.
The thing is that Elton John's piano in that song is beautiful, man. Great contribution and what a great idea. Steve Carell, Jerry Cantrell. Yeah, no, Jerry Cantrell.
Yeah.
Because in an interview, when the album was about to be released, I even read the interview like, "You brought Elton John to Alice in Chains? What the hell is going on?"
Yeah, that's kind of like a heretic.
Yeah, I was like, "It's gotta suck." But I bought it
Yeah.
just because I supported Alice in Chains. Like, damn, approved. Not only approved. This is fantastic, man.
Yeah, and it's actually surprising because you would never expect it to work.
No, especially Elton John with Alice in Chains.
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, look, thinking on Lane Stanley and Stanley,
Yeah, Stanley.
yeah, and his departure and how it impacted the band. I think even though it's one of the few instances where the replacement nailed it, managed to actually keep the whole thing true to form, working correctly, delivering I would even say the same quality of music as before, perhaps even better at times.
Yeah.
I'd say there is something to be respected in the OG always. Even the same applies to Journey as well. Steve Perry in the case of Journey and Lane Stanley, I'm having a hard time. Lane Stanley in the case of Alice in Chains, set a style, set a mold a sound in which the band operated, and probably they had in each instance they had huge contributions to what the band are.
Yes.
They still are. But the next guy, even though the Duval guy, for instance, delivers on the singing 100%. I even think that he's a better singer than
from a technical perspective, he is.
Yeah.
And sound-wise, it's extremely similar.
Yeah, but that's the thing. He's already operating under the context that was created by someone that came before.
Yeah.
And that can never be taken away. So that's why the whole thing about, oh, but this guy is better, for instance, from a technical perspective. When it comes to the importance or relevance or magnitude, there are more abstract concepts that need to be taken into account.
Other than just
the singing itself or the
yes.
performance itself, if we're talking about different kind of musicians.
Yeah.
So I think that Lane Stanley is irreplaceable from that perspective of importance of generating the sound, generating what we know as Alice in Chains, because he couldn't have existed without him.
Yeah.
The new guy, I think he's a better singer. I think he's actually doing a better job, once again from a technical perspective, as the frontman for Alice in Chains.
Yes.
But that doesn't have any form of disrespect to Lane Stanley.
No. It's just been objective.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, both of them help in their own way for the development of the band.
Mm-hmm.
Because Laney was the one who simply set the foundation for what the Alice in Chains sounds like.
Mm-hmm.
Because how much of an input he had on the songwriting, I don't know. But the singing is so important to the music, and the way that he sings, it's so that the music itself probably was built around that particular vocal style and that particular sound.
And it happens with Chris Cornell as well.
Chris Cornell as well, because I think if you take Chris Cornell outside of Audioslave, you kind of get Rage Against the Machine. Now I think the question is remove Chris singing. You get
It has some.
It has this thing because Rage Against the Machine has plenty of Jimi Hendrix songs.
Yeah, a lot.
A lot. And which is very, very much that. But when you throw Chris singing into the whole mix,
Yeah, I'll just leave.
yeah, it's totally different.
Yeah.
So I think in this sense, in this case, the music was produced around the voice for both bands because
I think so as
I said kind of sounds like it's not fully Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah.
Once you drop Chris into the mix, you said it yourself. It morphs into something else.
Yeah.
And in the case of Alice in Chains, it's everything around his voice, man.
Yeah, it is.
And then you move over to the new era. They had to find someone, and that's showing respect to the legacy,
Yeah.
the band, and the style of music they produce.
That's the way to do it.
That's the way to do it. You don't find the clone. You don't look for the clone. You look for the guy who can pull off and get us close enough to the OG sound, but in a way that allows us to do the guy make his own contribution to the legacy of the venture.
Yeah, and even the way it feels is different because it doesn't feel like a replacement. It feels like a continuation.
Continuation.
And it's very different.
And that's very respectful.
Yeah,
That's
it is.
paying homage, man.
Yeah.
Because once that album got released, when people discovered how good he was and how respectful the band has been to the legacy like that,
Yeah.
and everybody loves him. Yeah, of course, man, he's awesome and
Yeah.
great job. Totally recommended that album. Back is Way to Blue is a great introduction to that sound, the modern sound from Alice in Chains, which is not different from the old one.
No, it's very
It's just the
similar.
natural continuation, the natural progression of the band and evolving throughout time.
And I even think that if it was Stanley still there,
I don't think they would have get to that point, right?
no, but I don't think it would be that different. The music that
Yeah,
yeah.
You're correct because Jerry Cantrell is the main composer for the band. But for example, that album is inspired by his passing, man.
Yeah.
The track itself, which is the important one, it's actually about him.
So yeah, it's kind of.
I don't know, man.
Of course, we're dealing with what ifs here.
It's
So
a what if scenario.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I don't know. So, but musical speaking, I think they would have developed the same way as they did.
yeah, agreed.
Probably never stopping and having an even bigger legacy.
I think so as well. I agree.
Yeah.
But
No.
look,
Yes.
we can't move away from the 90s without
Mentioning Pearl Jam.
yeah, sadly something happened to the entirety of the band that they couldn't release the second album.
Yeah, because Stan is so good. Oh,
No, Kurt Cobain,
Oh yes.
which is probably the whenever anybody talks about musicians, the
Passing away early. Yeah.
he's probably
the first one.
the core of the conversation. What do you think?
Good point, man. Because I don't like Nirvana. I respect Nirvana and I like some of their songs, but as a band and as to what they represent, I don't like it. And him alone also have many things to say because he wasn't a good singer.
No.
He wasn't a fantastic composer. He was a good one, but far from being a genius, man.
Especially compared to some of the guys that we already spoke
Yes.
about that are from the same era.
Yeah, from the same era. So it's
Yeah.
like, nah, man. Everything about him, or not everything, a good chunk about him is very much AstroTurf. AstroTurf, in my opinion, because they were heavily promoted, and their music was basically, in my opinion, where I wasn't there when it happened, but I think it was forced down everybody's throats for them to become successful and becoming the sound of rock music for that decade.
Yeah.
I simply cannot see how, organically speaking, Van Halen, being at the top of their careers, stopped being popular in less than 3 years. Just saying.
Yeah.
Food for thought. But coming back to them,
Yeah.
I don't know if it would have got better or worse, being honest, because the guy was struggling with basically everything, and it shows, man. His erratic behavior, for example, that MTV Unplugged, sucks.
Yeah.
It's awful, man. Not being honest, he's totally out of his mind.
Yeah.
He's clearly not giving a damn, or he's in and out. He's singing probably the worst he ever did, and it's praised as one of the best live performances ever. Talking about AstroTurf,
Yeah.
and I'm not dissing on them. It's simply let's be frank. Let's be frank with ourselves, man. Just because you love a Heart-Shaped Box, a song that I actually like quite a lot by them, I wouldn't excuse the way that they used to perform them live. Have you seen live performances of them?
Yeah, I seen.
No, but there are more bootleg and stuff, man.
Yeah.
Super erratic. They are super hit and miss. You can hear him singing at the beginning of the career when he was very sober. Basically, like in the record. Smell Like Teen Spirit, for example. There is even a compilation of how he was losing it in less than 4 or 5 years, man. Bad. I don't know. Being frank, if he, physically speaking, would have been able to keep up. Being frank.
Yeah.
Because beyond the whole conspiracy behind him passing and stuff, he was also already kinda in a very bad shape, physically speaking, and mentally, we don't even have to discuss that. So I don't know if they would have been able to continue, and also if the music would have got better. But on the other hand, we would have avoided Foo Fighters. So that could have been better. I don't know which one is the lesser of evils, man. I find myself in a Geralt of Rivia kind of a situation with this one. What do you think?
I feel that, look, let's assume that he would still be able to make music for the years to come if he was alive, okay? I feel that music by Nirvana probably would have kept the same. To whatever it means. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think it would have dropped in quality. I don't think it would have gotten better as well.
No.
But I think that the image of Nirvana, in the way that we perceive it nowadays, would be heavily impacted.
Oh.
I would say that given time, Nirvana, let's say Nirvana kept going as a band, I think they would never have gotten to the gigantic status that they have today.
Get you, and I agree.
I think that,
Him passing away helped them a lot.
yeah, and not only that, I think if they had a longer career, it would give people time to realize that they are not that much.
Yes.
Being honest, and I do appreciate their music. I like their stuff, but once again, just comparing to some of the acts that were contemporary to them, they are probably at the lesser end of
They are indeed, man, because just Alice in Chains.
Yeah,
They were basically even part of the same movement,
Yeah.
musically speaking.
Soundgarden and
All of those two bands kicked them out of the water.
yeah,
Easy.
every single day of the week.
Easy.
And I think that given time, people would realize that. But with what happened, they were poised at their height to
Yeah.
become a legendary act.
Yeah, because they quit at the right moment
Yeah.
with a bang, actual bang.
With an actual bang. And I think that kind of positioned them in a way that kind of preserved the status in a way that probably it would faded. We would have faded. I think once again this is just what ifs, and this is just my own assumption.
But it makes sense. It makes sense. So I think it would have been better for the world, especially because Nirvana would have been seen, objectively speaking, not astroturfly speaking.
Yeah.
Because again, they are far from being a bad band. They are not. But they are not that.
No, they're not even the best that the times had to offer.
Yes, I agree, man. And the best part, no Foo Fighters. So yes.
Did Foo Fighters hurt you?
No, but well, I have many things to say about them.
They hurt the industry.
The industry, yeah. They kind of pushed rock and roll to a certain point that it's been hard for it to recover.
Yeah, that can be a conversation for.
That's and look,
yeah.
I don't hate them. I simply they're a good band, but they kind of created the sound of everything that sucks about rock music today. It's not their fault. It's not their fault. I want to believe that they are a good chunk of the problem.
Yeah.
Okay, but it's a completely different conversation. Okay.
Yeah.
Final. We haven't mentioned
Plenty.
plenty.
Look, so if we're
Jim
going,
Morrison,
okay,
The Doors.
so that's gonna be your final pick then.
I would pick. Yeah, I like The Doors quite a lot, and I happen to be a fan of that guy because he's equally is as prick as I am. So
He's an asshole.
yeah, I kind of see myself reflected on him. So yeah, like
What a reason.
feel you. Yeah. Okay.
Brickman.
Yeah, full on prick, man.
But great music.
Yes.
And what do you think would have happened if he was?
I
still
think The Doors would have pushed several envelopes because those guys were also quite keen in technology.
Mm-hmm.
And imagine them having access to synthesizer sequencers, multi-track recording, all sorts of stuff that they didn't have access to because he passed away quite early.
It was when? Did you know?
Late 60s.
Late 60s as well,
yeah,
right?
Late 60s, man.
Yeah.
So they had some technology, but they were like 5 years at a maximum from the huge boom that allowed the Dark Side of the Moon being a thing, man.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
I mind them going nuts, man.
Yeah.
Creating insanely highly crafted music because, man, the organ, it's like, damn! That guy's Rayleigh's, no, that's Lucert. Well, please remember the name because I always forget him. I'm confusing with the guy who's playing drums with Korn. Rayleigh's, or the fantastic, the drummer for Korn is fantastic.
I don't know his name. I know about.
Yeah, that guy, whatever. But I think they would have created incredibly highly choreographed and complex sounding music because they were already onto it, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Think of Write Yourself in the Storm.
Mm-hmm.
That's really kind of like don't know if it's country, don't know if it's blues.
Mm-hmm.
It's clearly rock, almost prog rock.
Weird but great.
But great.
Yeah.
And then you got LA Woman, badass,
Mm-hmm.
badass, because they were also kind of dipping their toes into heavy rock, man.
Mm-hmm.
I mind them. We mind the Roadhouse Blues.
Mm-hmm.
That song has balls, man,
Yeah.
and that shows signs of them actually getting very close to being in the proto metal
Perhaps.
period, man.
Yeah. Perhaps.
I see them being put in the same category as Uriah Heep and all of those guys, man. They're purple. Not as heavy as them.
Yeah, yeah. Because honestly, the projection that I paint in my mind is them leaning closer or more towards the side of
Pink Floyd.
going more expensive, like Pink Floyd. The music being more layered, a little bit deeper, and not deeper from the.
No, I get you. Complex.
Yeah, because that layering, that complexity is something that technology had to allow for it to happen.
I need that out for.
Yeah, and at the time, I think they were very constrained when it comes to how they could push their musical experience that they delivered, and they already did incredibly for what they had.
Yeah.
I do think my own interpretation of it, they would be closer to Pink Floyd, perhaps even more expensive than Pink Floyd.
Probably, but with the heavy element, man, because they weren't. Pink Floyd was like, but the Doors were like, eh. At
Yeah.
times they could go hard, man. And for example, Light My Fire, the song that I don't like in studio. Live is awesome. Man. No, there's a live rendition doing the rounds. They performed that live on TV, man.
Yeah?
Yeah, and it's the original track is like 2 minutes long, right? This one is almost 7.
What happened?
Music, man, magic, because it has a fantastic organ solo, guitar solo. Jim Morrison is doing this is rock and roll, damn it. Even drum solo. Now it's like badass, and when they come back to the main theme at the end of the barrage of awesomeness,
Yeah.
it even gives you goosebumps, man. They're like, these guys were something else, man. And but I don't think they would have lasted long together.
You think so?
No. Yeah, of course, because Jim Morrison would he would have done that even more,
Yeah.
and he would have quit The Doors,
Mm.
and he would have started his whole career something like Peter Gabriel.
Okay, I can see that happening.
Yeah,
I can see that happening.
and that would have been amazing.
And I even think that he would have some parallelism to Peter Gabriel's music. Of course, Peter Gabriel is more.
No, man, because Peter Gabriel has plenty of this eclectic sound.
Yeah.
I think Jim Morrison would have been darker,
It's more rock and roll, even.
less commercial, man.
Yeah.
Less commercial. I think he would have gone like, let's do it,
I
baby.
think that he's way too much of an artist.
That's
He's
why.
one of the quintessential artists.
Yeah, because there is even I remember, I might be wrong, but I do remember reading somewhere that back in the late 60s, before he passed away, in an interview he said that they asked him about the future of music. He said that in the future, one guy would be able, through the use of one machine, be able to produce everything from start to finish. All of the instruments, everything. He was talking about computers, man.
Yeah.
In the late 60s, man.
Yeah.
He was talking about how we do it today.
Oh, as a visionary.
So in mind that guy living 10 years longer than he did.
But he would be so pissed off.
No, he would have been super annoyed. That's why I feel him. That's why. Yes. Yeah. So that would be my final pick. Yours?
Let me see. I think I would go with Janis Joplin. We didn't bring her into the
yeah,
conversation
important
yet.
as well.
We saw also part of the whole 27 whatever.
Yeah.
But outside of that, one of the reasons why I think it would be very interesting to see what kind of music she could be making later on is because she showed talent. That she was a very gifted
Singer.
singer. But she was good
Yes.
as well, because it wasn't like just a raw talent. Actually, she was a great singer. And the music was well developed, but it had that kind of...
Hippie.
Yeah, that as well. No, but it had that kind of rawness to it.
Yes.
That I feel that with time would mature and it would become very interesting. I would love to see where she would take her music in a more mature stage of her life.
I agree.
Mixing experience, her talent that is undeniable, her singing chops, but at a different point in life.
Yeah, with I would stick to the whole thing with maturity, man.
Yeah.
Because her voice would have developed even further. Because she had already raw talent, and the sound of her voice is very raw, right?
Yeah.
And kind of rough around the edges, but in the best way possible. Because it's that kind of, once again, the same what happens with Jimi Hendrix guitar style. She had it with her voice.
Agreed. And it's actually a fair comparison.
Very, very straight from the heart, like very, very human, like very personal sound.
Yeah. Powerful and honest.
Powerful, honest, and little words, plenty of wisdom. Not wisdom, but you got me.
Yeah.
Plenty of
Meaning.
substance, meaning, yes. And I mind her growing older and getting rid of the hippie shit. She would have been an incredible. I mind her being something like crazy as Beatles. Period.
I agree. I
Kinda,
agree.
right? Like
yeah.
something or
But heavier.
heavier,
Yeah.
and also with a little bit of Rolling Stones. Get me? But from the after the once they were successful,
Yeah.
a little bit of the commercial side of the Rolling Stones, but more due to the energy. Because at the beginning Rolling Stones energetic, but not as heavy as they got later. And with that psychedelic, I think she would have been a psychedelic artist. She was already, but psychedelic rock would have been. That's why I thought of Sgt. Pepper.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
heavier.
but I do feel that she would go heavier, even heavier than what she did when she was alive.
Yes.
I don't know why I have this impression that she would be one of actually protoing even metal.
Yeah, I see her as well being one of those musicians that would be part of the proto metal thing in the 70s. Because her music was already punchy, heavy, and kind of ballsy, man.
Yeah, very hard.
Why? Well, her voice was basically that, man.
Yeah.
That thing is bam.
Yeah.
And
Such a projection.
yes, that
Yeah.
it's very, very powerful sounding voice, and the way the music would have developed, I think she would have been leaning still to the crazy kind of hippie stuff, but not for long, and then she would have moved over to something more esoteric, sounding mystical, a little bit like Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
But in the Rain Song and stuff like that, man. That kind of Lord of the Rings period.
Yeah.
Get me?
Yeah.
I see her being that kind of sound, and imagine her collaborating with Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
Or having a song with Pink Floyd, man.
Yeah. That would be awesome to see.
That would have been amazing.
Yeah.
Or The Doors.
And more than likely, it would have happened.
Yeah, because everybody was
With the scene.
Yeah,
With
it
the
was
scene.
part of the scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see that happening, man.
Yeah. That would be awesome.
It would have been amazing.
Oh, well.
And wherever. That we what we got.
Yeah, because of course the entirety of the conversation today was just speculation, just kind of what if scenarios. But
Yes.
I think it's fun. It's not any form of criticism or any form of
Attack.
attack on anybody. Just kind of like an exercise on how things would develop with time.
Yes, based on what we know of them.
Yeah, And I think it was fun.
Yeah, it was a good conversation. So thanks for joining, thanks for watching. If you want to be part of these conversations, we are going to be doing this live every week at this time. Why? Because we used to do them later, but we're testing stuff. This is a very young channel, so we're trying to find the best for everything. So if you want to be part of this conversation next week, make sure to subscribe. Also leave a like, because YouTube, in the case of YouTube, is already no longer giving a damn about people watching. They want you to interact. So please make sure to interact in a way. And also, if you want to support the channel, the best way to do this is by listening to our music on Apple Music or Spotify, and also by joining our social media such as Instagram and X, because that's the best way for you to get in touch with us on a much more personal basis. With that being said, the only thing left to remind you is that you should join our Discord. Link in the description down below, and that you should never let anybody tell you what to dream about, and that we will see you when we see you.